Hello, I'm Tony, and in this video we are joining two robots intent on feeding people with our help. That's very different from the two robots I know who don't really like anything about humans except Sky TV and the internet. I think they want to create a company merging both of them somehow. They're coming up with names like InterTV, though that's probably going to change. Anyway, Cook Serve Delicious 3 is free from the Epic Games Store until the 18th of August 2022. Sorry this video is so late. I made a mistake of downloading Icewind Dale because it was at big discount and I've been a bit busy with that. I'll say up front, I've not even heard of the previous two games in the series. I have played other cooking games, Overcooked for example, and a couple of others that I cannot remember the name of. But I found them pretty entertaining, so I was quite optimistic about this one. Okay, standard review stuff. Graphics for me were a bit basic, didn't really like it, it kind of looked flat. There isn't really much animation, so the static images being what I felt was bland is a bit of a disappointment. Sound however is good. The audio cues for food orders coming in and being ready are really distinct and give you the information you need. Which is just as well because it's pretty hard to see visually when loads of stuff's going on. Music's fine, it's not bad, changes as things get a bit more hectic. It does its job. Okay, let's talk about the gameplay. Now, the basic premise of the game is that you, a cook, were rescued by two robots from the ruins of the huge headquarters of the Cook Serve Delicious business that I assume was built up in the previous games, and that gives the reason to go back to serving from a van rather than a restaurant. You drive between stops, which gives you time to prepare orders before you get there. The preparation differs for each order. Common to all is that you use the left trigger to indicate that you're applying ingredients, and it needs to be held down while you press the correct buttons in the correct order for a particular dish. Differs between all of them. This was a bit of a pain initially, but you get used to it reasonably quickly, though you still make a mistake every now and then. You have to let go to actually do the cooking though, which did catch me out a couple of times. There's a tutorial for every dish, so if you really want to get good at this, you can practice to your heart's content until you absolutely nail it. You have two types of dish stations, one along the top, accessed via Y. Once you set the cooking off, you're done, you don't need to go back to them. And ones down the side that are accessed via X, which are the more complicated dishes. After you press cook, you need to go back to them and do more preparation, like putting toppings on an ice cream cone, that kind of thing, although in some cases far more complicated. Once it gets hectic, it's pretty easy to mix these two up, and once you've pressed one of the buttons, you're committed to making that dish, even if you didn't want to. Similarly, if you make one mistake with an ingredient, particularly on the X ones down the side, you've messed that up. The customer's going to go away unhappy and you are going to lose your gold medal. It's pretty harsh. You travel between the stops, there's a different number depending on which route you take, and you get a medal depending on how well you did. You've basically got to be perfect to get a gold medal. Eventually you can upgrade your van in various ways, but I did not see any of these because I did not get that far into the game, and I'll explain why in a bit. I think the point of these games is the controlled chaos of balancing the customer orders with their patience level, not making a mistake when you make the food, planning which ones you make in advance so you've already got something prepared, and panicking and doing your best to recover from any mistake. For me, for some reason, this game just didn't give that to me. I didn't get that from it at all. I don't know if it's because I'm not moving a character around like the other games I've played, or doing physical interactions like clicking on a burger to flip it or moving it to a bun, but I felt quite disconnected from the action. Mashing the buttons in the menu doesn't generate that immersion that I think is key for me to these games. So, why didn't I get that far into the game, but I didn't upgrade my van? It's basically because I did not enjoy this game at all. Even when I got to the point of getting a perfect score, cracking through all of the orders, I just didn't get that sense of satisfaction that, you look for in these games. And it wasn't because of the difficulty level, it's a disconnect that I have with just using buttons to create the food. Might be a personal thing, but nah, I didn't get it. Didn't enjoy it. Lots of other people did. I looked on Metacritic and the aggregate score is a 3.9 out of 5, which obviously is pretty good. For some reason that I do not understand, people love the graphics. Maybe the style isn't just for me, but look, you can see it for yourself. You can decide. If you like it, great. There's just ingredients missing in this game and I cannot tell you what they are, but it just didn't work for me. This is a no recommend for me, but hey, it's free, try it. I just wouldn't be too disappointed if you miss out. Right, I can hear my robots are talking about changing the name of their company to Skynet. I'm gonna go and do something about that. I'm gonna go. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.